Hi there, people of the internet. My name is Luke, and before you click somewhere else or go somewhere else, I know you guys are really busy. If you came here, you're probably looking for information about how to sell on Amazon. In this video, I'll be giving you a detailed walkthrough of all the steps that I take to prepare, box, and ship items out to sell through Amazon's FBA system. While we go, I'll explain the tools and software that I use for each shipment. Once we're done, please check out my website for more tips, training, and a complete list of the top 100 most profitable items that I've ever sold. At the top of this list is an item that I bought for about 25 bucks and sold for nearly 200, giving me a total profit of over $130 on a single item. All right, let's get started. Okay, so this is an overview of all the stuff that we'll be boxing up today. As you can see, there's some swim goggles, there's some toys, Ninja Turtle stuff, some stuff that I bought at a few different places. The first thing that I do, what I'm holding here, is my receipts from all the stuff that I bought. It's very important that you manage the paperwork properly, that you are logging all the different items in Inventory Lab. I'll show you exactly how to do that down to the item, but you'll need your receipts for backup purposes, for tax reasons, and just as an overview of how much money you spent. So what I do is I scan them in to Evernote and I keep them there. I use an Evernote scanner to get the receipts into Evernote. I'm going to show you what that looks like. That's the Evernote scanner right there. And the thing that I love about it is all I have to do is take the receipt, drop it into the scanner, hit the scan button, and this is just wirelessly communicating with my computer. And you'll see it pop up right on the computer, ready to work with. Before we start handling product, I want to give you a quick overview of some of the tools that we'll be working with. This is a USB scanner. This will save you a ton of time from searching the product in Amazon or Inventory Lab. You can just scan the barcode and the product will basically just pop right up. This is a heat gun. This is super helpful in removing stickers and price tags and that sort of stuff that invariably will come on the product that you're trying to sell. This is a label printer. This is what we'll use to cover up the UPC code with Amazon specific labels. We'll get more into that soon. I have a couple different types of label peelers here, one metal one and one plastic one. I have a giant scar on my finger from using the metal one a little while ago, so be very careful when you're removing stickers. Sharpies, tape dispenser, some warning labels. Amazon requires that anything that is in a shrink wrap or a poly bag have a choking warning label. So I pick these up on Amazon and make sure to put them on any product that where that is required. Here's a couple other products worth mentioning. You'll need a scale, tape measure, packing tape, pair of scissors are always nice, a printer to print off the final label that we'll use to ship our box to Amazon. This is a box cutter. I don't need this with every shipment, but I do enough. It will save you money. And then you'll also need large shipping boxes. I get mine from Home Depot. They're 18 by 18 by 24. The largest box that you can ship to Amazon, the largest side of a box is 25 inches based on their policy. So 18 by 18 by 24 is just about as big as you can get, and you'll want to be able to pack as much in as you can. There's also a 50-pound limit on Amazon shipments, so you need to make sure that you're staying under that as well. I also sometimes need to package things up with what Amazon calls a poly bag or shrink wrap. This is how I have some on hand. I very rarely have to use this. So it's time to create our shipment. Like I said before, I use this program called Inventory Lab. I absolutely love it. I used to use Amazon for just my first couple shipments, but it was painfully slow to get the products processed. Amazon caters towards people that sell few products and lots of them. So if you're selling, like I do, lots of different products, a product like Inventory Lab will save you a ton of time. It costs $50 a month, but I have saved so much more than that. It's just, I can't express enough how much I love this program, and that's why I'm going to show you how to use it. Basically, it will help me process the shipment, and then it will track profitability right down to the item. It'll give me reports, supplier reports by category, by sales tax, profit, everything. You can track how much you made on each item. You can track your refunds. You can track most of the stuff that you care about from this product. So having said that, this is what I'm using to list. So I come into my Inventory Lab account and I go up to list and I say open batches. I don't have any open batches, so I say new batch. So I'm creating a new shipment, and the batch name doesn't matter. This include buy list CSV. This is a new thing that looks like you can just upload a list of things without having to scan each one at a time. This is a new thing for them. I haven't really looked into it yet. So I'm going to skip that for now, but it's definitely something I'll look into in the future. Make sure that your ship from address is correct. Your packaging type, or your packing type, is individual products, not case packed. That's the case for me. The channel is FBA as opposed to MFN, which I believe is manufacturer, so we're FBA. The workflow type is private. Private versus live, you can choose private means that as I scan in a product, it will log it into Inventory Lab system and it'll ping Amazon for where Amazon thinks at that point the item will need to be shipped to which warehouse, but it won't finalize that until I process the whole shipment at the end. You'll see me do that. I always process private. Live, it will actually confirm the warehouse that it goes to with every item as you scan it. That sounds great, and it probably is great for some people, but what will end up happening a lot of times is you end up shipping products to lots of different warehouses that you don't actually have to. When you wait until the end of your shipment, most of the time Amazon will consolidate everything into the least number of warehouses that they can, whereas if you're doing it live, you may end up shipping product to lots of different warehouses, which is a pain because you may end up with like 10 different boxes with just a few items per box, and that will really cut down on your profitability per item. So I always do it private. It's my workflow. I would encourage you to just see what works for you. Labeling preference, I say I'll label my own items. Provide box content is a great new feature that I'll show you at the end. We'll use that to scan everything in final. And shipping method, if you're watching this, then you're definitely using small parcel delivery because it's smaller than a truckload. I'm gonna hit create. So now our batch is ready to start having items processed. All right, it's finally time to start scanning product. So this is gonna be a pretty straightforward product. We're gonna do this first. And this is just some Disney pen thing. Half the time I don't even know what I'm buying. I'm just scanning product in stores and then just looking at how profitable it is. So in this case, this is some marker set. It doesn't matter. I'm just selling it. So first thing I'm going to do is scan it into Inventory Lab. So I'm going to click up here in the Amazon catalog box, grab the USB scanner, scan the barcode, and the item pops right up. The reminder section, I don't worry about. The tax code section, I don't worry about because I'm always selling toys or something that is in the same sales tax perspective. Nothing's ever tax exempt. So in this case, I actually bought 2 of these. So I'm going to change that to 2. The total cost per unit, this is where I hop over to Evernote. And this particular item was bought in Marshall's. So I click on my Marshall's receipt. Scroll down, look at the Marshall's tag, and I can see that the identification number ends in 4451 on Marshall's version of price tags. So that gives me a hint as to which one this is. Some receipts are really descriptive, some receipts are not so descriptive. This is one that doesn't give much description, but it does give me this item number, and then I can see that the price is $4.99. So I know that this is what I want to be doing. So I'm going to annotate this image in Evernote, zoom in just a little bit. This is how I track that I've actually processed an item or not. I put a letter X on here and then just drag it over here and then copy and paste it to say, okay, I've processed both of these Descendants pen things. I know that they're $4.99 and this was a tax exempt transaction because I bought it under my business name. I'll put a different video out there to help you understand taxes and that sort of thing, but you can get a tax-exempt resale certificate in most states, and that's what I use to buy all my inventory. As long as I'm reselling that item, Texas, where I live, doesn't require that I pay sales tax on it. It requires that I charge sales tax when I sell it to somebody in Texas. So taxes are a different ball of wax, and I'll cover them in a different environment. For our purposes today, I spent $4.99 on this item. So I'll hop back over my total cost per unit. I punch that in as $4.99. I purchased this on the date on this receipt, 3/17/17. So that's right here. The supplier was Marshall's. Since I've used them before, it'll automatically suggest. And it will automatically generate a SKU. This is a SKU that it'll use within my account. You don't have to change that. The condition is new. I don't need to put any condition notes there. So now I hop over to this side. I see that the new items in FBA are selling for $21.75. I'll use that as my price. And it shows me that my list price is $21.75. My net profit per unit will be $8.75. My ROI on this will be 171%. So I'll hit submit and save. So then when you hit submit the product, the labels will just automatically come out of the Dymo printer. That's why I really like these little one-off printers as opposed to hitting print and waiting for something to come out of a regular printer on a big sheet of labels. These things can print off just one at a time. We'll slap the label on there over the UPC. Okay, so the next step is to remove any price tags that we have. We'll grab one of my label removers, and these tags can be difficult to get off. That's why I have that heat gun. It'll be just out of frame here, but I just run it under a heat gun for about 10 seconds. And then the sticker just comes off so much easier. Don't forget to remove the price tags from your product. There isn't much worse than somebody spending, well, what are they going to spend? $20-something on this, and then find out that we bought it for $5 at Marshall's. So make sure you remove all the price tags. Next, we'll just grab one of the labels, and we're going to cover up the barcode that's on the box. So all we did there was we took Amazon's special label that they're going to use for their reasons when they scan it in, when they receive it, and cover up the UPC. So Amazon doesn't want to see any UPC codes on a product. They don't want any price tags, obviously. They want it to be sealed up nice, so if there's any tape that is maybe old, not sticking so well, I always put a little bit of packing tape over there as neatly as possible. And this product looks ready to go. So then I just stick it off to the side. All right, it's 11:40 at night, so the night is young. I'm gonna go ahead and just burn through the rest of this stuff to give you a better idea of how quickly this actually moves when I'm not like explaining everything. But then we'll focus on boxing everything up and getting it shipped off to Amazon. All right, so it's 1:31 a.m. That took me 1 hour and 38 minutes to package up the rest of all that stuff. And you can see it all right here. Nothing massively surprising. Let's look at the results on the computer. So you can see right here, there's 38 different products that I processed representing 51 items. So there was duplicate items. Maybe there was 2 of something. That's how you get more items than MSKUs. The average sales rank is 186,000. I'm not doing much with sales rank in this video, but I will in others. The total sales value is $2,102 with a buy cost of $887, yielding a net profit of $578.35. Just a quick comment about some of those numbers. specifically the profit. You really won't see that amount in profit. I never plan on actually making that amount of money. The reason for that is right now, as a general rule, they're all priced as high as they're ever going to be. Other sellers will come in and undercut you, and you'll go back and forth sometimes, and rarely does the price go up. Sometimes it happens, but not that often. But still, if I make between $300 and $400 off of going to 4 different stores, that's right about in line with what I typically expect, and not too bad. So because it's 1:30 in the morning, I'll pick up where I left off tomorrow afternoon, and we'll finish boxing all this stuff up. I'll show you what that takes and then drive it to the UPS store. All right, so it's a new day, which you can tell by my fancy new t-shirt, and it's time to box all this stuff up. So let's get to it. Back in Inventory Lab, we're going to come down to the bottom right-hand corner and click this Review Batch button. Then this screen pops up, and this is an environment that you can edit anything in bulk. So I can come over here and click and adjust my price. I can check boxes and say, perform a certain action, delete items from the shipment, anything like that. I'm not going to change anything. So I'm just going to go down here and hit the Submit button. A warning will pop up saying, hey, this is going to finish this shipment. You're not going to be able to change anything once this happens. Inventory Lab is going to take all these products and they're going to send them off to Amazon digitally and basically ask Amazon, hey Amazon, where do you want us to send these things? We're going to say, okay. It's talking to Amazon right now. Okay, so it's done talking to Amazon. Basically, all of these items need to go to 3 different places. These 7 items, you can see the 7 right here, need to go to, I believe that stands for Chattanooga. And this is the list of the items that need to go to that warehouse. This second warehouse will get these 3 items, and this last warehouse will get these 41 items. I think Amazon factors in where you live into where they have you ship, because I send a lot of product to this Fort Worth warehouse, and I live in the Dallas area. They also appear to break this out by item size, because you'll see that the Fort Worth warehouse is getting 41 items, but they're all the smaller ones. This warehouse is getting these 3, and these are the larger boxes. And then this warehouse is getting all of the bags and 1 of these other teddy bear toys, but it's also a larger toy. So it seems like they break it down by size, and I'm sure there's more logic to it than that. What we have to do from here are create each one of these 3 shipments and then enter the box contents. So to create the shipments, we're going to click on one of them, click Create Selected Shipment. It says basically, I hope you're ready because this is going to send everything in this shipment to Amazon. I'm going to say OK. Then I'm going to click on this one, do the same thing. And click on the last one and do that again. So now the 3 shipments are made and Amazon is aware of the items that you're shipping to them. But one additional piece of information that they need to know is what items are in which box. A shipment is a list of items that are going to a warehouse. It can include multiple boxes, and it frequently does include multiple boxes. And Amazon wants to know which items are in which exact box of which exact shipment. In order to tell Amazon that information, we're going to click on a shipment, and then this right here is the box number that's auto-generated. What we're going to do is click this I right here, and that's going to tell Inventory Lab that we're ready to start scanning. And then we're going to start scanning the Amazon barcodes and putting them into the box. Okay, so we need to go get one of our boxes. I have one here, and then tape up the bottom. Okay, so the box is ready. Inventory Lab is ready to start inventorying the items going in the box. So I'm going to click Start right here. And now Inventory Lab is watching my USB scanner, and it's waiting for me to scan items in. So I can go and find this toy and take my scanner and put it in the box. At this point, it's just an issue of trying to get all the items into the box in the best way so that it fits the best and that they don't bounce around and get damaged in shipment. I have 2 of these Descendants pen thing again. You can just scan both of them. You scan everything one at a time. Put it in the box. Okay, this box is almost full, so normally I would take some packing material and pack things up and then get my second box. In this case, I'm actually selling some backpacks, so I'm going to use that as box filler. So you can see here which items have been already boxed into this box and which items are still left. I have one of these babies, these 2 larger toys, this larger toy, and then, so this backpack here needs to go in, so I'm going to go find that backpack. Scan it. Put it on top. And then get one of these. And make another one. So I wrote FTW1 and then number 2, and I circled it. That indicates to me that this is box 2. I wrote number 1 with a circle around it for box 1 because the whole point of this exercise is to identify what's in each box. So you can't just identify where they're going, but also which box is which. So in Inventory Lab, I'm going to say box 1 is finished. So I'm going to say finish. Click the I again to make that whole thing collapse. Now I'll click the blue new button next to boxes, and it'll create a second box. It's already labeled with a number 2 at the end, so that corresponds with box number 2. And I'll hit start and then scan in the remaining items. Then when you have a bunch of items that are completely identical, you can just scan the same barcode. I know I'm holding 4, so I'll just scan it 4 times. Now Inventory Lab is smart enough so that if I scan another one, it will actually give me a tone and say, you've already done as many as you need for this shipment. Also with Inventory Lab, if I try to scan an item that doesn't belong in this shipment, this backpack is not supposed to go to this warehouse. So if I try to scan it, Inventory Lab will tell me that's the wrong shipment and it won't let me add it. So now I can just skim through, and if all of these things have turned green, that means Inventory Lab has tracked it for me. It's telling me that I've scanned in the right number of all the different items that I was supposed to. You can see right here that this baby doll, 2 went into one box and 1 went into another, so it's showing me that. 2 are in box 1, 1's in box 2, so that's really helpful. And this shipment is now finished. So now I can say that's finished. And come up here and say send. So all the items are now in the right box for the first shipment, and now I'll start working on the other 2 shipments. So now what do you do when you have an oversized item? Remember I said earlier that Amazon restricts the box size to be no bigger than 25 inches. Any one size, the longest side, cannot be longer than 25 inches. It also can't be larger than 50 pounds. The one time that they do allow it is when an item is oversized, and that one box is allowed to be oversized. What I can't do is take this item, and since it's oversized, then put a bunch of small items into the same box because there's a bunch of room left over. There will be room left over, but I'm not allowed to use it because I can't fully pack that oversized box. Okay, so I'm gonna make an oversized box. What I usually do to do that is make one box like I normally would. Then I'll take the item and put it into the box, scanning it first. And then take a second box, make it, and put it over the top. What makes this work a little bit easier is if I cut down the seam of one of these. Be super careful when you're using these. I did have an accident and it was very painful and not pretty. Okay, so that's how I would make an extra large box. Then I'll tape around the edge here. And because this is a golf bag, I didn't need to pack a bunch of extra stuff around it because I'm not worried about it bouncing around a little bit inside the box. Now that we're finished boxing up that last item, we're gonna come back in Inventory Lab, click Send in the Boxes feed for that last shipment. And we're done in Inventory Lab as it relates to this shipment. You can review your totals down here if you want to. But we're going to hop over to Amazon. To get here, you would log into your Amazon seller account and go down to Manage FBA Shipments underneath Inventory. And you can see the 3 shipments that we just created. And you have to say Work on Shipment. So we're going to do the Fort Worth. You can see information about the shipment itself. There's personal information there, so I'll blur it out. And then you come down here, Review Shipment Contents. You don't need to review and modify any units. It's already set to small parcel delivery. This is telling you that you need to do box info now in order to speed things up, which we did. Keep coming down, set the number of boxes. It already knows that there's 2 boxes coming in. And my weight, my dimensions on these are all 18 by 18 by 24, 18 by 18 by 24 for the Fort Worth ones. Okay, so I just put these boxes onto the scale. I know that box number 1 going to Fort Worth is 27 pounds. I wrote that right on the box. Box number 2 is 19 pounds. Wrote that on the box. It's very important to make sure that you have the boxes labeled so that you're not getting confused. So I'll drop that information into Amazon. Box 1 was 27. Box 2 was 19. And it will calculate the shipping right here. It's going to say I have 2 boxes totaling 46 pounds. I'm going to calculate the shipping cost. It's $15.03. Amazon gives a fantastic deal. They're partnered with UPS to get these shipping costs way down. So I'm going to say I accept the charges. And then at that point you have 24 hours to avoid that shipping if you choose to. I'd never done that before, so I'm going to say print box labels. Open the PDF, print it out on my computer. Up in the corner of the shipping labels that print out, you'll see there's box numbers, box 1 of 2, box 2 of 2. It puts the weight on it. You just need to make sure that you're putting the right box, right label on the right box, and that's it. All right, it's time to bring the boxes to the UPS store. You can take them to any UPS drop-off location, I believe, but there's a UPS store just down the road from me, so that's where I always go. And that's it. UPS and Amazon take over from here. Amazon will handle all the returns, and it's pretty simple compared to eBay or something, some other platform like that. I used to do a lot of eBaying. I like Amazon FBA so much better. There are more fees involved, but you can move just dramatically more product. So I really like it. It fits into my life well. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this video helped a lot of you out. If it did, please hit the subscribe button, like this video. That really helps the channel out a lot. And come over to FBALaunch.com. I'll have lots of resources there with more videos and links to all the products that I talked about. And feel free to reach out to me. I'd really love to hear how you're doing through your Amazon journey as well. Thanks. Have a great day.